Hello, everybody. My name is Sean Hill. I am just doing an introduction to my channel from Atheist to Pastor. And I thought that I'd just start off by kind of talking about the point of this channel. The whole point of this channel is basically to promote conversation between Christians and atheists, or even myself and people of other religions, or for Christians to basically come and talk to me about maybe situations they have with atheism, maybe like college students who are taking a class with an atheist professor or something like that. How I dealt with things. Yeah, that's sort of just my goal for this channel, is to talk more to people who are non-Christians, but also I'm going to be covering a variety of issues. If I see things like from the Freedom from Religion Foundation, or from different atheist channels, I'll do response videos, things like that, that'll maybe equip Christians on how to deal with real life issues today in the Christian community. So I'm going to start off with something big this coming week. Dan Barker from the Freedom from Religion Foundation has done a video, his top 5 Bible contradictions, and I'm going to be going through quite a bit of those supposed Bible contradictions, and kind of just debunking some of the things that Dan Barker has said. I'm still taking some time to study. That way, when I do this video, it'll be consistent. It'll be something important to something that will actually provide meaningful conversation and dialogue to the situation. And not only that I can represent the Christian position and the atheistic position in a meaningful and lighthearted fashion. So yeah, that's the point of this channel, is to really just go through some of the process. Some things I'm going to do is maybe go through some of the processes that I went through when I went from being an atheist and became a Christian. So if you're interested in this kind of contact this kind of stuff, please respond by liking and subscribing and putting the little bell there over in the corner, and see if we can get some conversation going. If you have atheist friends, this channel I just started, so if anybody who is an atheist wants to have a conversation, a meaningful conversation with other, then I'm always willing to do that. I made an email specifically for this channel that I'll check on a regular basis to look at things and respond to people any way that I can. I'm not expecting this channel to become anything really big or anything really important. I'm just doing this to just reach a few people if God so wills. But also just as a young man who is living in the context of growing up in this American culture where secularism is on the rise, and when I was an atheist and became a Christian, things became totally different to me. And so that's sort of my goal for this channel, is to just really speak about important things. Now, one thing I will say, if you are an atheist and you are watching, you watch this channel, or want to engage with me, I won't respond to crude language. If you use crude language towards me in any way, shape, or form, I'm not going to take you seriously. I'm just going to be quite honest. I'm not going to deal with that at all. That's just not my point of view. My prerogative to waste my time on people who can't uh, show even just a little amount of decency towards people as human beings. So that's one thing I will say about this channel. Another thing is I do not plan on getting into comment section wars on this channel. I am not going to just go into the comment section and spend time wasting my time. If you email me and want to have a meaningful conversation with me, then you can do it through email, or we can set up a Skype conversation to where you and I are talking person to person. You and I are talking to each other like human beings, and not as people who are inconsistent. Because so many times I've had atheists comment on my former videos on my old channel. I've had times when I'll make a comment thanking some people that I respect in their videos, and when an atheist responds to me in a very crude and not so kind fashion, I just don't find it meaningful or helpful whatsoever. So that's I just don't care for it. And I've invited so many atheists, so many people who have disagreed with me, to have a conversation. If you're near my area and we're talking and emailing and stuff like that, I have no problem meeting with you face to face. I have no problem talking to you as an individual. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You're talking to a person, you're talking to an individual. I'll take time out of my day to talk with you. So please just have some respect, and I'll have respect for you and your worldview, to try to be consistent and try to be kind-hearted towards people. I'm not going to try to go for zingers and jabs and stuff like that. The heart behind my doing these videos is to promote meaningful conversation and dialogue, and quite frankly, also at the same time, as a Christian, I do believe that the Christian worldview is the correct worldview. So I'm going to try to convince you, and I expect you to do the same thing to me. And it's not going to work if you're using vulgar language and ad hominem attacks and just not being consistent. Like if you're going to get upset, you're going to get upset. That's totally up to you. So yeah, just be consistent. I'm not going to name call. I'm not going to name call people and call people idiots or jerks or stupid or idiotic. I may call ideas idiotic, but I'm not ever going to call a person just stupid for no reason. It's against Christian faith to do that. And if you're a Christian on this channel and you like this channel, I know this is my first live thing, and trying to get people to subscribe to this channel, and probably nobody will watch this for a while. But if you're a Christian and you're watching my video and watching my channel, here's what I'll say to you. If you get into a comment war with somebody and you're using vulgar language, if you're a Christian using vulgar language, I will say this now. I do not condone what you're doing. I do not condone any sort of acts of disgraceful actions towards people, especially people who I may disagree with or may disagree with me. I don't need that kind of help. If you're a Christian, you're calling somebody an idiot in the comment sections. Don't do that. You're going to use the comment sections to, do it in a way that's encouraging, uplifting, caring. don't do it in a way that disgraces the name of Christ. That's just not the way we do things as Christians. And if you're a Christian who loves to hide behind the keyboard, just like there are atheists that hide behind the keyboard, or Muslims that hide behind the keyboard, or whatever it may be, if you're one of those people, please don't just don't be a part of it. Come onto this channel. I mean that sincerely. If you can't, if you wouldn't say something to a person to their face, please don't put it in the keyboards. I'm sorry, but these are just basic things that I have to go through. But sadly, I need to say these in a Christian context to Christians or so-called Christians. So what I want to say to you too is, if you're going to say that you're a Christian, act like a Christian. I will, and if I notice that there are Christians who are treating other image bearers of God, whether they be atheists or Muslims or whoever may be in this channel, in a terrible fashion, I say this to you. I will say that I completely would maybe doubt your salvation. You need to check yourself. Check yourself at the door and see if you're actually in the faith. So these are just weird internet things that have come up over time. But I just felt the need to, in this introductory video, to kind of lay down what I hope this channel to be, what I hope this will do. So here's some other hopes that I want for this channel. I want to be a thorn in some of these atheists' sides. I want to be a thorn in the side of Guy's Door. Dan Barker, Freedom from Religion Foundation. I want to be a thorn on their side a little bit. I want to be there, not to name names or call them, anything to be crude or rude on their side, but I want to call out some of the falsehoods about Christianity that they put out, and I want to be a young man trying to be on the lines of doing that. And so if there are videos or things from these people that you would maybe want me to review, or maybe a book that you would want me to review, or something along those lines, I am more than willing to go and do that. I'm more than willing to do the research for you, to do my best to do that. I mean, I'm only one man, though. I can't do everything on my own. But I can try to provide some sort of insight from things that I've already learned in the past, but I can also provide some insight to some things that I need to insights of things that maybe I haven't exactly learned yet, or things that I haven't studied yet that I would like to. But I'm fairly confident in my own abilities to be able to discuss matters, because I've been doing it for a couple of years apart from the internet. Because I've had to discuss things with my atheist professor in college. I've had to discuss things with one of my friends who was a Christian in my Bible study. Because I have to say that once you become a Christian, you don't typically turn back from that. Yeah. So that's important to keep in mind. So the big point of this channel is, I think that the thing that really turned me from an atheist to a Christian has been a lot of the inconsistencies that I've found in atheists. And I will point a lot of that out in my next video, especially when I really tackle the Bible contradiction video by Dan Barker. I really want to do that because I think it's quite important to show those things to Christians and to show those things to atheists as well, because I've studied so much atheistic literature that it's just become second nature for me to kind of question everything that atheists claim and make sure about the truth about and make sure that the truth is actually getting out there. So some of the things that have influenced me have been when I finally started learning how to read the Bible and understood like the Bible has a context and things like that, that I found so many atheists making claims about the nature of God in the Bible and things like that that I found to be absolutely just false, just wrong. There have been times when somebody's proposed a supposed contradiction, and I'll look at the so-called contradiction and find out there's not really a contradiction, and in fact that there are Christians out there, Christians that I now admire, who actually have answered these questions already, and it's kind of sad actually. So hopefully through doing this, we'll all come to a better understanding of the Christian faith for one, and secondly, we'll come to a better understanding of understanding of both atheism and the relationship with Christianity. Now, also another thing that I want to say too, if you are of another faith besides the Christian faith, I have no problems talking with you as well and talking about things of another faith variety. The reason I say this is because one of the biggest atheistic arguments and reasons why atheists say is because, well, why do you believe that your religion is true and not others, or things like that. So if you're of another religion, if you're a Muslim or a Buddhist or a Hindu or Hare Krishna or Mormon or whoever you may be, a Christian, part of being a Christian theist, is that you have to be able to distinguish your faith from other faiths and do some interdisciplinary religious studies and understanding, like, because part of me is part of my conversion from Christianity to from atheism to Christianity is that I studied some of the claims of other religions, because my family kind of taught me, all ways kind of lead to heaven type of deal. And I found that to be baloney. But when I started studying other religions, I found out that there are truth claims in Christianity that are verifiably true. And then there are things in other religions that contradict what's being said. So in Christianity. So I think that's important too. I do not mind discussing topics of other religions. I don't mind talking about just various degrees of topics. So I hope this is helpful to you. I hope that this channel will be helpful to you. And so if you're going to like the content of this channel, subscribe below and hit the notification bell. I'll be talking about different topics throughout the different topics. And next week I'm going to start it off with a bang by going after the freedom from Religion Foundation some of their videos on, or their video on the top 5 Bible contradictions. So forewarning about that, if you do watch the so-called Bible contradiction video, I'll put a link in below. A link when I do the video, I'll put a link under there to the original video. I won't be able to do audio just because of technology issues. I'm not as rich as some of these other channels. So what I'll end up doing is I'll try my best to just be as consistent and logical as possible and lay out a solid foundation for what I'm going to be doing with that video. The biggest thing that I'm going to be doing that video is not just showing why they're wrong with the contradictions, but to show the inherent bias in the atheistic worldview. And hopefully what it'll do is for you as a Christian to kind of understand when you're talking to an atheist that they might have a similar attitude. And at the same time, if you're an atheist, maybe to think through some of your biases, maybe to think through, am I thinking in this type of fashion, to maybe kind of challenge you to get out of some of that stuff. So that would be my goal for my next video. So please, if you're watching this video, if you've watched this video, share it, show it to the atheist friend in your life, get him or her ready for some interesting conversations. So hopefully I'll be able to have some more interesting conversations. Hopefully I'll be able to have some as we go along. And if you're wondering about this channel, like, what's the point in doing something like this? I have a friend who I've met through doing these videos. I've considered him a friend. I'm not going to say his name, but he's an atheist. And he and I talk every week, and we just go through issue after issue. We go through we've had some really meaningful conversations, and so I hope that through doing this we can have some meaningful dialogue as well. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a good day.